Good morning, everyone. Sorry, good evening, everyone. Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Jai Hind. Good evening, Ashrar. Good evening, Mohit. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. डर लग रहा है एग्जाम से? नहीं, you should not be worried about exam. Okay. Exam will if you have worked for the entire year, so you don't have to worry about that. What is going to be the exam result? It's not about one day. It's not about last 15 days or 10 days. It is about the effort which you have taken in the last 1 year or even more than that. Okay. So if you have worked for those many days, those many months, then it is going to give you the result. Okay. पसीने आ रहे हैं, देखो that might be because of the global warming. Okay. अगर पसीने आ रहे हैं तो that might be because of the global warming. There is no such relation of exam with sweating. Okay. So don't worry about it. Take this as a part of your part and parcel of your learning process, part and parcel of your life journey and each and everything. Okay. Of course, there should be some fear of the exam. If there is no fear of the exam, then it's not UPSC then. If it is UPSC, then there must be some fear. You are going to represent the country. You are going to represent the nation at multiple platforms. Just to give an example, you have seen last day we have talked about Vikram Misri. Okay. So he is also one of the person who has cleared this examination. Now think about this. If he is representing India globally, if he is giving the press briefing of India, so you can understand that how much important that post is, and you are going for that. So it is not going to be an easy exam. It is going to be as tough as it gets. Okay. So then what you will have to do, you will have to work hard. You will have to work daily. And when you improve on daily, when you learn something daily, then definitely you are going to clear the exam. So don't worry about it. Take it as the process, and yes, take it as the process, and I'm very much sure that you all have worked very hard and this is going to pay off. Okay. Exam नींद में आती है, हाँ, तो that is good. If you have started getting the dreams of exam, so then you are on the right track. If you are thinking about the exam all the time, if you are having that fear in your mind that okay, what the exam is near, what may happen, what may not happen. So if you are having that fear, so that is good. That is something which we expect. That is something which we expect, that yes, you need to have that fear. You need to have that challenge in yourself. That is something which we want also. Okay. Now, okay, it's your first time. That's good. There are many people, I think many of you are going to appear for the first time this year. And remember, the first time is always the best time. The first time is always the best time. You don't have a lot of pressure. You don't have a lot of preconcepts in your mind, preconceptions in your mind. So that is the best time to give exam. Okay. So that's good. You should give it you shouldn't have to just give all your effort. Yeah, nothing else. Don't worry about it. Okay, so last day we were talking about India and Pakistan. We have talked about the siege fire. We have talked about the strategic importance of having this Atmanirbharta in various areas, in various dimensions. So that was one of the topic which we have discussed last day. Second thing which we have discussed is, we have talked about India-European Union trade deal also. We have talked about asteroids also, where they are found, what may be the possible situations if they are coming towards the earth, what are the different missions on various asteroids. At the same time, we have talked about total fertility rate and other topics. Okay. Now in today's session, In today's session, the topics which we are going to see is this. Last day there was official briefing by Indian Prime Minister with respect to this Operation Sindoor. So we are going to see that as of now, what is the condition, like what is the end result, what is the output of it, that we are going to see. Although as per the army and as per the government, the Operation Sindoor is still going on, but there are certain outcomes which we can discuss here. Okay. Second part is we are going to talk about this India-China trade. Especially, there is a trade with respect to germanium. So that is one thing which we are going to talk about here. The third thing which we are going to talk about is data exclusivity. Data exclusivity. And related with that, we have another topic, that is US drug price policy. US drug price policy was also there, and plus this data exclusivity also there. So both of them, they are related with your drug pricing and all in India. So we are going to talk about that. Fourth one is US-China pact. US and China, although they have not come with any such major trade deal, but they are starting this process. Okay. Then what we see that Indian Railway and Safety, there is this one article with respect to that. So we are going to talk about that also. Okay. So let's start. But before we go into that, let us solve some questions. With reference to the India-European Union trade relation, consider the following statement. The European Union is India's largest trader partner in goods. India's export to the European Union exceeds several times those to the China. The European Union is among the top sources of foreign direct investments in India. So which of the statement given above are correct? प्रयागराज में इंग्लिश मीडियम का बैच 2027 एग्जाम के लिए देखो, it will be announced very shortly. I think one of the batches going on for English medium, which is for I guess 2026, the one which has started on this 28th of April. So a batch has started on 28th of April and others are also coming there. So you can either visit the website or you can also go to Prayagraj Center. There also you can ask about it. Yes. C option, B option, C option. Okay. So I think most of the people are going for option number C, that is 2 and 3. It is asking European Union is India's largest trading partner in goods. So is that correct or incorrect? In terms of goods, which one is the largest trading partner? Last day we have talked about this. In terms of goods, which is the largest trading partner of India? Last day we have seen all these paragraphs and everything. All these datas and all. Okay. That when we are talking about trade in goods, which is the largest in terms of trade in goods? So you can see that it is not India's largest trading partner. Trade in goods is United States. If you look at this, India is the 9th largest trading partner of European Union in terms of goods. If we talk about India also, the European Union is on the 2nd number. So here European Union is not at the 1st number, so that is correct. India's exports to European Union exceeds several times those of China. Now remember one thing, of course our trade is very high with respect to China, but when we talk about our export to China, it is quite on the lower side. On the other hand, if we look at the trade with Europe, our exports are also quite high. So what we see that with respect to Europe, our exports are higher and our trade is also significant. So second one is correct, and European Union is among the top sources of foreign direct investment. So both C option is going to be correct here, 2 and 3. Okay. So this is second part. Now, which of the following features correctly distinguish asteroids from comets? Asteroids are composed largely of rock and metal, whereas comets contain significant ice and dust. Comets typically have visible tail when close to the sun, while asteroids do not. Both asteroids and comets are mostly found in the asteroid belt. So this is one question about asteroid and comets, that what is the difference between them. Yes, Shiv Shankar, see, it was supposed to start from today itself, but due to some region, due to some challenges, we could not start it today, but most probably from tomorrow at 3 p.m. we are going to start it. But yes, there will be one official confirmation, I think, on YouTube itself and on Telegram channel, that will be notified. So most probably from tomorrow we are going to start it. A option. Yes. So see, what we see that, yes, first one and second one is correct. Third, we have seen that it is incorrect. So here the answer is going to be 1 and 2 only. Basically, what I see that normally if I'm asking question on the next day, you are all able to give it clearly. I think for one day everything is there in the mind. So I think we should have a different strategy for revision. Maybe we will start like this, that in this week we are revising the questions of the previous week. Okay, so perhaps that is one thing which we can start, because what we see that these questions are quite easy for you because you have just read them last day, so you are easily able to recall. But what I have to actually check is whether you are able to recall it after 2 weeks or not, after 3 weeks or not. So we need to like rephrase these things. We need to like change this pattern. Consider the following statements regarding the total fertility rate in India. It refers to the average number of children a woman is expected to have during her reproductive years. A TFR of 2.1 is considered the replacement level fertility. India's TFR is currently decreasing, but it is above the replacement level. So which of the statements given above are correct? Which of them are correct? That is the question. Okay, one answer from Shiv Shankar, that is option number A. So I think this is also one easy question about total fertility rate. One answer is option A, another is answer D. TFR, total fertility rate, refers to the average number of children a woman is expected to have during her reproductive years. Second is a TFR of 2.1 is considered the replacement level fertility. And third is saying India's TFR is currently decreasing, but it is above the replacement level. Okay. So D option, A option and C option. See, if we look at this, first one is correct, second one is correct. I think everyone is sure about that. Okay. TFR of 2.1 is considered as the replacement level fertility. India's TFR, if we talk about India's TFR, so right now it is 2.0. It is 2.0. So while it is decreasing, but it is not above the replacement level. Now we see that it is below this replacement level. TFR of 2.1 is considered replacement level fertility level. But we see that it is below this replacement level fertility rate. Okay. So here this third statement is going to be incorrect. The answer will be option number A, that is 1 and 2. So here it is 2.0, not 2.1. Okay. Now, so that is our 3 questions which we have seen, fertility rate and all. In last session we have talked about all these things. So now we are coming to this topic. So last day our Prime Minister, he has addressed the nation, and in his address Prime Minister has highlighted the policy of India. that in the upcoming time, what is going to be the policy of India, what will be the new normal which has been defined by India. So let us see them one by one. One of the major thing which we see right now, that whenever there is any such issue, what Pakistan says that nuclear blackmail. This is one of the major thing which Pakistan is always doing. Pakistan always starts playing this game. And why they are playing this game, you have to understand this part also. First, what they try to do, this nuclear blame game, it is trying to create a panic. They are trying to create a panic. They are trying to create a panic in, they think that the Indian community will be there in the panic mode. And plus, they also think that they will also put the global community in panic. They will also put the global community in panic. So this is one of the strategy of Pakistan, that whenever there is any such attack or any such reply by India, any such retaliatory attack by India, or any such message by India, what they start doing? They start doing this nuclear blackmail. They are having a few nuclear missiles. I don't know even if they are capable of delivering that missile or not, because they have not been capable of delivering a single warhead. Most of their missiles, most of their drones, or in fact the entire drones which were sent by Pakistan or missiles which were sent by them, they have all been intercepted and destroyed by Indian defense system. So now they always keep on saying that we have nuclear bombs, we have nuclear bombs. So just having nuclear bombs is not sufficient. You need to have capability to deliver that nuclear weapon to some region. So Pakistan is certainly lacking that. And what we see here, that from time to time they start this nuclear blame game or nuclear blackmail. Why do they start this? So that other countries of the world, US, Europe and all other, will come together, will try to de-escalate the situation. So India has said that from future onwards, India has said that there will be no nuclear blackmail from future onwards. India is not going to pay any attention to any kind of nuclear blackmail. Okay. So that is first part. Second thing which has been told by India. Okay. Second thing, very important thing which has been told by India is zero tolerance policy towards terrorism. Okay. So second thing is zero tolerance. Now, this has been established in the last 3 such attacks. Okay. From Uri attack to Pulwama to even this Pahalgam attack. One thing has been established, that if Pakistan is now trying to do any such, or if it is supporting any such miscreant activities, any such terrorist activities, so then they are going to get a befitting reply. Okay. So what we see, that there is this one policy, zero tolerance towards terrorism. Third thing, which has again been said in the same light, okay, that there will not be any distinction. There won't be any distinction between terrorist and their sponsor. Okay. So that is also one thing which has been highlighted. No distinction. No distinction between terrorists and their sponsors. That if anyone is sponsoring terrorism, then there is going to be no distinctions between terrorists and their sponsors. Okay. Fourth thing, that we have made it clear that Operation Sindoor, that this Operation Sindoor is not a one-time action. Operation Sindoor is a common action plan for any future terror activities. That this is not a one-time thing. we have made it amply clear that this is not the first time thing, or this is not the one time action. This is going to be the common action each and every time if there is any such terror activities taking place in India. Okay. And then one final part which has been told to Pakistan, that no matter whatever you are crying, there will be discussion with Pakistan on only two things. Okay. So when we talk about India-Pakistan talks, if we talk about India-Pakistan talk, so there will be negotiation on only two things. One is Pak occupied Kashmir, and second thing is terrorism. So we are going to talk about only two things. One is Pak occupied Kashmir, that when are you going to return that? Second thing is about terrorism. Okay. So apart from this, there is going to be no discussion, there is going to be no such like negotiation, no such deal, neither in this treaty nor any other treaty. So that is something which has been highlighted by India, that okay, in the upcoming days, whatever has been done in the past. Now onwards, if there is any such policy or any such activity from Pakistan, these 5 different actions are going to be taken by India. Okay. So this is one part. This is part of your GS paper 2. Like, this is part of your GS paper 2. India-Pak relation, Indo-Pak relation, and here we can understand it as new policy of India on post Pahalgam attack. So this is the new policy of India post Pahalgam attack. So when you are making the notes, that's why I have given you 5 distinct points. You can write it there, that okay, what is the new strategy of India after this Pahalgam attack? That what we are going to do next if there is any such retaliation or any such attack by India. Yeah. That may have been true. Okay. Like, there was a very impressive reply, that okay, we don't know that if there was any nuclear facility which was attacked or not. If it was attacked, then well and good. Okay. So what we see, that it is not officially confirmed. Of course, there are media reports and everything, but there is no such official confirmation by India or Indian defense team that we have targeted their nuclear power plants. If they have hidden it under those areas, so that is their problem. So this is one part, like what is India's response post Pahalgam. Now, second part is India and China trade. And what is the context of this? The context of this is about one such critical mineral. There is one thing called as critical mineral. Can you tell me what is critical mineral? Can you tell me what is this critical mineral? Any idea? Can you tell me what is this critical mineral? We always keep on talking about this critical mineral. So can you tell me what exactly is this critical mineral? Why we don't destroy nuclear of Pakistan? See, the thing is, we are still democratic country, and in democracy, of course, there is some limitations, that there is something which is different between India and Pakistan. Pakistan is one such country which is not looking for any such bright future. They are not, like right now what we see, that their leaders or their bureaucracy, their military, they are not looking for any such future of Pakistan. Most of their leaders are looking for their future, that how they can settle in London, how they can settle out of Pakistan. they are doing job or they are earning money just because they want to settle out of Pakistan. So Pakistan is like their administration, their country. They don't have any such like idea, or they don't have any such uh, thought process that they have to become some powerful country. Just to give an example, okay, like right now the war is going on, and during war, what we see that of course people blame each other, spread propaganda against each other. So that we understand. But just to give an example, when India launched Chandrayaan, when India launched Chandrayaan 2 or Chandrayaan 3, during that time also, there were some leaders in Pakistan who were making mockery of Chandrayaan mission of India. Now, just to give an example that how it is different. Suppose if China is making any such mission, if China is having a mission to moon, or China is having its space station, or China is having some any other thing, so how we look at it? We look at it as like that we should also do it. We also need to do this. We don't say that no, we don't care what China is doing. We don't have any such value for China. Whatever China is doing, we don't consider it to be good. If they are going to a space, if they are building anything, so we also think that okay, they are doing good, we should also be reaching there. But in case of Pakistan, what is the difference? That if India is doing something in terms of science, in terms of technology, in terms of any development, how many of the Pakistani leaders say it, or many influential people say it, they also utilize this option for making mockery of India. So they, like, even during Chandrayaan, when Chandrayaan 2 was partially successful, or you can say up to 98% successful, so then also they were making fun of India. So you have to think about this. India is at least reaching up to moon. You are not reaching even out of Karachi or Rawalpindi. So there is a difference. Okay. So that's why Pakistan is like there is a difference between India and Pakistan. Pakistan is not looking for a very bright future. Means their leaders, their administrations, they are not looking for a very bright future. Our aspirations are different. Their aspirations are entirely different. Okay. Those minerals found less in world economically. See, when we talk about this critical minerals, what we see that they are economically and strategically important. These minerals are part of ICT, information communication technology, defense, space, etc. So these all sectors, or even electric vehicles and all, they are dependent on these critical minerals. What we also see that many of them not easily available. Many of them, they are not easily available. But they are economically and strategically important for us, for our science, technology also, economy also, employment also, ICT also, defense also, space also. So in all these domains, these critical minerals are going to be crucial. Okay. Now, when we talk from India's perspective, what we see that 30 critical minerals. We have identified 30 critical minerals. This has been identified. This has been identified by Government of India. This has been identified by Government of India, that we have seen that okay, there are 30 critical minerals. There are 30 critical minerals which we are trying to ensure that there is steady supply, there is production in India, and if there is not such availability in India, at least we are getting it from some reliable sources. Okay. So that is one of the major part, that we have got 30 such critical minerals. Okay. Now, one of the critical minerals in all of this is germanium. Okay. So one of this is germanium. Now this germanium, if we are looking at this critical mineral, it is used for semiconductor, it is used for fiber optical cables, solar panels. In all these sectors we are using it. Okay. So we use it for semiconductor, we use for optical fiber, we use it also in solar panel. So from here you can understand that it is important for energy also, it is important for mobility also, it is important for information communication technology also, defense also, space also. So this germanium, this one single element, this one single metal is going to be important for all these different areas. It is going to be important for energy sector also, the mobility also, like electric vehicles and all. It can be used in the information communication technology, computers, quantum computers, and many more. Plus we see that it is useful in defense industries also and space also. In all these domains we need germanium. And now what is the situation, or what is the current challenge? Okay. What is the current challenge? If we look at this, what we look at the current challenge, India is almost entirely dependent on import of germanium, and around 50% of India's germanium is coming from China. Okay. So 50% import from China, and China, it has blocked or it has banned the export. Recently what we see that, like, China has blocked this export of germanium. China has blocked the export. China has blocked the export of germanium. So it is like playing its own game. China is playing its own game. It is blocking the export of rare earth elements or the critical minerals. Okay. So germanium is one of those substances which have been blocked by China. And that's why India is also negotiating with China about this germanium import and export. Okay. So right now we are having this trade deal happening between India and China also, especially with respect to the critical minerals. Okay. So this one element which is quite famous here, germanium, it has been blocked by China. Okay. So I hope that is correct. I hope it is clear to you. We have talked about this, that what is the new normal policy. So in new normal policy, we have said that there is going to be no nuclear blackmail. Means we have said that Pakistan will not be like doing any such nuclear blackmail. We are not going to pay any attention to this. We won't get affected by any such nuclear blackmail. We will not pay any attention to it. So that is what we have discussed there. I think maybe you have joined late a little bit. Okay. So that is the second topic, that's what's happening between India and China. Now coming to the third topic. Okay. There is one thing called as data exclusivity. Okay. And the news article is this: India keeps data exclusivity out of United Kingdom free trade agreement. Last week we have seen that we have got a free trade agreement with United Kingdom. Then we are seeing that in this week also we have talked about this, that we are also trying to have a trade agreement with European Union. Now when we are talking here, there is one thing called as data exclusivity. There is one thing called as data exclusivity. So can you tell me what is this data exclusivity? Any idea? Any idea about this, that what is data exclusivity? There are two types of things. One is called as branded drugs, one is called as generic drug. I hope you are aware about this. There is one thing called as branded and generic drug. So we have discussed about this in the past also. Here we see that there is research and development. There is research and development. There is various clinical trials. And then after that, if successful, they get a patent. Then they sell it in the market. So this patent is for 20 years. So we have seen that in the case of branded drugs, there is a patent of 20 years. But in case of generic drugs, what we see that the generic drugs, they don't have to worry about the clinical trials. What we see that many of them get easy access. They get this easy access to clinical trials. Many of them, they are getting easy access to clinical trials. Why? The data is easily being shared to them. The data is being easily shared to them. They can access this clinical trial data, and using that, they can develop their drug in no time and they can bring it immediately in the market. So what we see that these generic drugs, they can make cheaper drug. They can make this cheaper drug. So now many of the countries of the world, especially United States, United Kingdom, Japan, European companies, many of them, they are not very much happy with this data sharing. What we see that in India, there is a data sharing. There is a data sharing of clinical data. There is a easily data sharing that the patents which are filed by these companies, the clinical trials which are submitted by these companies, they become accessible to the generic drug manufacturers, and they are getting these clinical trials, and on the basis of these clinical trials, they are easily developing and selling their drugs in the market at a much more cheaper price. So data exclusivity will mean that the data generated will not be shared, okay, even if the patent is over. Okay. So what we see that when we are talking about data exclusivity, it means no sharing of clinical trials, clinical trial data, even when patent is over. Okay. So in many of the European countries, in many of the Western countries, there is this provision that the data exclusivity is provided to them, that even when the patent is over, even if the patent is over, they won't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about it. Their data is not shared. So in those countries, generic drug manufacturers are not having the advantage. They are not having the advantage. Now what we see that many of the countries demand that in India should also be providing data exclusivity. But when we were having deal with United Kingdom, data exclusivity not provided under United Kingdom India free trade agreement. So this has not been provided. If data exclusivity is ensured, then what we will see that the generic drugs will become much more like costlier, and our generic market is going to be impacted. In case of India, the generic market is having value of $25 billion. Okay, they are having a value of $25 billion. So that is a significant amount. It is like 3 times the defense budget of Pakistan. Okay, It is of course 3 times the defense budget of Pakistan. Okay. So this is like the generic market. This is the medicine market in India. What we see that's why we are not providing this data exclusivity to any country as of now. Okay. So that is our third news article. Okay. Now, then what we see, there is another thing, Trump's drug price policy. Okay. So what we have seen that like this Donald Trump, okay, they have said that they have asked their companies, the Trump administration, okay, they have asked their companies, okay, they have asked their companies that they have to ensure that US drug costs are aligned with the cheapest equivalents abroad. Okay. So they have to ensure that cost of US medicine are equivalent to US drugs. Sorry, equivalent to cheapest drug. Now think about this. What has been said? Okay. Let's suppose that, just to give an example, let's say in India you have paracetamol. It is coming from company A and company B. Company B is selling it at rupees 20. But this company A, which is of United States, it is selling it as, let's say, rupees 50. Okay. So now United States is telling its companies A that your prices should be equal to this 20. So now companies are thinking it is not possible. The companies of United States, they are thinking this is not possible. Our cost is higher. We cannot come down to this cost. So now what they are doing, they have started to pressurize. They have started to pressurize the developing nations that you have to increase the prices of your local drugs. That it's not possible for us to decrease it to 20. So you can increase it up to 50. That is what thing which is going on in the world right now. So you can understand how the Trump administration is looking at the things right now. If you look at them, Trump administration has gone almost in a different zone all right now. Okay. They have gone in a different zone. They are disrupting each and every market. And it has been seen many a times that when the global market and everything was crashing, Donald Trump was talking with a few of his friends that, okay, you have made enough money during this crisis. Okay. So what we see that when the stock prices are crashing, when the stock markets are crashing, it is the loss of money of the common investors, the small investors. They are losing the money, and a few big giants, a few big corporates, they are getting the money, whereas the poor is becoming poorer. So of course you can expect it from a president who is a businessman. When a president himself is a businessman, so then you can expect that how the things will go on across the world. Okay. So this is the same thing which is going on. Okay, that the prices should be same, lowest prices, it should be lowest prices. Now it is not possible for them to have this lower prices. So the global pharma companies, they are putting the pressure on developing markets to raise the prices of their local drugs. So you can understand how the thing is going on. That on one hand, there are poor people who are not getting access to medicine. On the other hand, there is a crazy president who is asking who is forcing the drug companies to increase the prices of medicines. So that is something which is going on across the world right now. Okay. So this is one of the news which was also there. Now, then we see that there is this US-China. Okay. Now what we see that they have got this trade agreement. Okay. Right now this is only for 90 days. Right now, this is only for like 90 days that they are putting a pause on the different tariffs and all. So things are not that much of clear as of now. Once the things become much more clear, then we will discuss this article in detail, that what has actually happened between US and China. Why I'm not discussing this? Today US is saying one thing, tomorrow they are going to change it. So until unless there is a full and final thing which is settled between US and China, there is no need to discuss these things, because the Trump is the president right now. In various Hindi stories, you may have seen that sometimes there have been some crazy rulers across worlds, and they have been doing crazy, like they have been taking some crazy actions, crazy decisions from time to time. One day they are saying something, next day they are saying something else. The same thing is going on with United States right now. So it is in a different phase right now. 3 months ago, they have said that they are going to have full-fledged war with China. They are going to have no trade with China. Then they are saying China is one of the best allies of United States. So this is going on with US. Okay. So this is another part. US-China pact is there. Okay. So let's see that how it's going on, and then we will discuss this topic once again. Okay. Medicine should not be expensive. That is true. That medicine has to be at the lowest possible price. But then when businessmen become president, this is what you can expect. That they are all about raising prices. They are all about raising the income of businesses and all. The US is running on like lobby of the business persons and all. So they might be having that type of government. They are actually having that type of government, which is the government of the businessman. Okay. So they are a different country. Now, one more thing, one last article, and that is about Indian Railways. If you have traveled in Indian Railways, then, and if you have got a middle seat, I think in sleeper and in third AC, you are getting a middle seat, a middle row. In the last 1 year, there have been various instances when it has fallen down on passengers and many of the people have got injured. Okay. So if you have seen the railways in India, what we see that the accidents from the railway are one of the most common thing. So there are two challenges for railways in India. Two major challenges. One challenge is the railway tracks and signal infrastructure. Railway tracks and signal infrastructure. What we are seeing that the railway tracks and signal infrastructure, they are not up to the mark. Multiple times there have been accidents just because of poor signal and all other problems. There is second challenge, the internal infrastructure. Means inside the coaches, the passenger coaches. Indian Railway can claim this, that we are providing one of the cheapest mass transportation services around the world. In fact, it is very cheaper as compared to many of the neighboring countries, as compared to many of the other nations. Indian Railway is of course one of the cheapest rail services. But then you have to provide at least some basic facilities. The Indian Railways right now, if you see, while government keeps on checking security infrastructure in various colonies, in various commercial complexes, have ever railway conducted an internal audit of its own passenger coaches? Are they worthy of traveling? Can people actually travel in it? And if you look at this, they have created new trains in the name of like Humsafar Express, in name of different express, and different names have been given. But when we go inside those railways, there is huge suffocation. The seats have been made so narrow The seats have been made so narrow that if there is one single healthy person, he might not be able to fit in those seats. So if government is trying to give a message that you have to get fit before you travel in railway, then that's a good point. That if they're trying to give this message that if you have to travel via Indian Railway, you must have a good physique. Only then you will be allowed to. So then government can give that message. But in general, if you are making it for public, then it should be something in which people can travel. People are not like cattle. People are not like cattle. They are not goat or cow or buffalo, which you can just fill in one coach and then send them to different locations. The arrangement in Indian Railways, it's so terrible, so much terrible. Okay. There is lack of water facilities. The entire railway, like, it is used for traveling, but if people travel in railway, if they come out of the rail, first of all, they will have to take a shower. Otherwise, they will keep on stinking throughout the day. The railways in India are stinking with various smells and all. There is no proper cleaning. There are cockroaches and mouse, like rats, moving in the railway coaches. Okay. Plus, time to time, there are such incidences where these middle berths and all, they collapse, and it is creating a fear among the people. It is creating a fear among the people. So while we are progressing, while we are saying that we are having bullet train, we are having this train, we are having largest or longest or highest railway bridges, on the other hand, we are not even giving a sufficient space where a person can sit on those like seats. If you are traveling in railway, you will find that you cannot sit. If you are of 5.5 or 5.8 or 6 feet, then you cannot even sit in these seats. In the upper or middle berth or even the lower berth, you cannot even sit there. So that is the challenge with Indian Railways. What they have constructed is perhaps only they know that how they have adjusted 3 or 8 seats in that much of narrow space. Even in various like cold storage units, there is more space than what is there in Indian Railways. And plus, the safety challenge is always there. So that is one of the challenge with Indian Railways and safety. Multiple times we have seen that there has been collision. Railways have like come down off track. Internally also, like within the train also, there is multiple times snatching of chains, snatching of personal items. Okay, so these are things which railway will also have to look at. Okay, and we are not even talking about the general coaches. Like, think about this. We are near about completing 80 years of our independence. In India, the railway has been started in 1850s. So if you look at it, we have already completed around 175 years of Indian Railways. After 175 years and after 75 years of independence, the Indian passenger coaches are so much terrible that it is not worth traveling in them. Okay. So that is one, like, we always talk about ease of living, betterment, development and all other things. They are not worth traveling simply. Okay. So that is the Indian Railway. Okay. And plus they are having all these accidents. Okay. So this is one of the part that Indian Railways and safety always lacking. Now, coming to the next part, like, we also have to discuss some of the questions. In the context of planetary defense, what is the purpose of mission like NASA's DART, Double Asteroid Redirection Test? Last day we have discussed about this asteroid issue also. So in that case, what is the role of DART? Indian people don't buy the ticket traveling after in what will. So why the railway has not been able to ensure that? Have you seen any one single people traveling in metro without ticket? if you look at the metro infrastructure, they have created it in such a manner that no one can travel without a ticket. So why Indian Railways have not been able to create such a system? It is 80 years now. If people are going in the trains without ticket, whose fault it is? And think about those who have purchased the tickets and yet they are facing the struggle. Why? Because railway was not able to control those who have not taken tickets. So whose fault it is? In the context of, yes. So if we look at this, in context of planetary defense, what is the purpose of DART mission? We have seen a dimorphos was there, so that was deflected from its path. Okay, so redirect asteroid away from Earth's path. That is one of the role of this DART mission. Okay. Now, second part is, with reference to the use of nanotechnology in health sector, which of the following statement are correct? Targeted drug delivery is made possible by nanotechnology. Nanotechnology can largely contribute to gene therapy. So, in the case of health sector, targeted drug delivery is made possible by nanotechnology. Nanotechnology can largely contribute to gene therapy. So, select the correct answer using the code given below. Most of the time waiting problem is also there. So I think this is also an easy question. Perhaps in one of the previous sessions also we have discussed this. Okay. Yes, C option is correct here. Both 1 and 2 will be correct here. Okay. So this is the last one, and like a few more important things. Like we are going to have some new batches very soon. Like tomorrow I will give you the list of those batches we are coming with. We are also going to come with the Adhyan 3.0 Adhyan batch. We are going to come with that. We are also going to start with some of the new foundation batches of English medium. That we are starting with 10th of June. Okay. So from 10th of June, we are going to have the foundation batch in English as well as Hindi medium. We are also going to have this answer writing batch also after the prelims exam. Okay. So many such things are coming soon. Even optional classes are starting, history, Hindi, and demand was there, which was about PSIR. So PSIR optional is also going to start very soon. So I will show you all those things that when we are going to have the upcoming batches. Okay. So we will talk about that in tomorrow's session. Okay. And yes, the dates will be announced in due course of time. In due course of time, this date will also be announced. So tomorrow I will be giving you information of many of these things, from Adhyan batches to answer writing batches to foundation course, optional batches, and many other things. Okay. Plus at the same time, just be updated with this YouTube channel and Telegram also. So we may be starting this revision classes from tomorrow onwards. Okay. So maybe we will start it from tomorrow onwards at 3 p.m. But stay updated with that, and from there you will get the idea. Okay. So that will be all for today. Okay, that will be all for today, and then tomorrow we will discuss many more articles which will come now. Okay. So thank you so much everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.